No, hello, we are going to Goodwill.
Woo!
We're going to go see what we can find.
Hi, we're the Secondhand Sellers, but this is a extra outside of our podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Klayton.
And we're going to show you a little thrift haul. We just both went to Goodwill together, the Goodwill, that we always talk about on our podcast. If you want to hear more about that, check out our podcast episodes. But this is a Goodwill that we've known, both of us as resellers, it's known for finding good stuff there.
Yeah, not only do they have nice quality items that are often donated, but the prices there are always very fair.
Yeah, I think they did that little pandemic crazy period where things were crazy, and then they've come back down and moderated again.
Yeah. In terms of Goodwills though, for the area, that's the one to go to.
Yeah, I've talked to a staff member there, and she said that it was basically the highest volume donation location out of our region, because the way the Goodwills work, at least here, is that they have regions. So I think there's 16 stores or so in our region, and the one that we're talking about is one of the highest incoming donation places. So
we were there on a Saturday. It is packed.
Oh, and loud. Crazy and loud.
Lots of people, very loud, but we still each hauled away with a few things. So why don't you start us off and show us what you got?
Okay, so these items here are mine, and I'll tell you each why I got them, and some of them I'm on the fence about. I'm going to do some comps. I'm going to check and see if it's worth for me keeping, because we have a backlog of things that we keeled over stock. My sister and I have a backlog of things that we need to get listed, and so I'm trying to keep my sourcing down, with the exception of maybe the bins, to where the things I buy in public, I want to get a decent return. So mostly I want to be in the 30 or above range for them. I might fudge that a little bit, but I'm not looking for low value items. So I'll start with this one, because this is something I'm going to keep, or I plan on keeping anyway. It's a food saver bin, and I got this for $3.99. It's actually a marinator, so I think you put your meat in your marinade in here, you suck the air out, and I think that helps it marinate quicker. I'll have to look up some instructions on this, but I have a newer food saver. We just bought one this year, and so I thought that would be a good find. And I wanted more of the bins and things, because I've only had the bags, which are a lot of waste. So this will be good if we marinate anything. I bought these two. These ones are some of the ones that I'm not sure on yet. And if I find good comps, I'll put, for any of these things, if we find good comps, we'll throw them in. And we'll also throw in a couple of photos of things that we didn't purchase, but that might have been an interesting find. And we'll put comps on there too, but they were just not what we were looking for today. Yeah. But I found these two pieces of vintage aluminum cookware. They're saucepans, both have the lids, and they're Kitchen Craft brand. And I don't think you probably can see from that angle, but if you look here, they're pretty stylized. So you've got these ridges on the handles, the ridges here that match. And also they have the Kitchen Craft insignia here on the bottom, the maker's mark. And these were made in the USA, so we can probably guarantee that they're fairly old. I'm not sure yet how old. I have to do some comps on that. But my thought was, at $5 a piece, if I can get $30 to $40, if I think I can get $30 to $40 in profit on these, I'll keep them. If it's going to be more like 20 or less, then they'll probably go back. Because $10 for these two, again, I'm cheap. So that is good and fine if I can get a reasonable amount. But if I'm only making a couple bucks, it's not worth it.
Yeah. But, and thankfully, our Goodwill has, a 7-day return policy?
Yeah, 7-day return policy. Yeah. So we're not worried about that.
Yeah, there are some locations I had 3-day return policy. So
check locally.
Yeah.
Some thrift stores don't accept returns at all. So always find out that return policy, because then you can decide if you need to know then at the time of purchase, or if you have a little more leeway. So we have leeway. I'm going to check on these. If I sell them, they will be sold together as a set. This looks just like someone's home decor, but all right, that's cute, whatever. I got it for this. This, at first I thought it was anchor hocking. Whoops, dirt.
Very nice.
At first I thought it was anchor hocking. I don't know if you can see. I will do a zoom. It's got an HA here. It's Hazel Atlas. I didn't think about that. It's a vintage brand, vintage canister. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lid. This one I got for $2.99. Right here you can see the sticker. So if I can get a decent amount on that, I'll keep this. I wish I could find a replacement lid, because if I could, I might just keep it myself for like tea storage or whatever. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. Caught my eye. It was on the top shelf with these in it. I'm guessing that's why a lot of people overlooked it, because it's just a plain glass thing. But nope, I think it's a vintage plain glass thing. So those were my hauls.
Your leaves are shedding just
everywhere. They're dropping everywhere, yeah. These are cute if you're into the fall, if you're into decor, but I did not buy them for that specifically. They just kind of came with it.
Yeah. So I ended up getting this Shark Euro Pro Mini sewing machine. I paid $5 for it. No idea if it works. However, from what I was looking at sold comps, what was it? It was like $35 to $50, somewhere in that ballpark. But and overall, the thing is, even if it doesn't sell for that much, even if it doesn't work, like we said, we can return it, no problem, no sweat off my back. So that is something that just caught my eye. Especially, I know a little bit about sewing, so that's going to be interesting to test out.
Also, that brings a point here. If you are new to thrifting, and especially if you're going to high volume thrift stores like we are, our Goodwill, crazy turnover, crazy amount of people, even during the week. So if you have the option of returning something, if you are on the fence at all, pick it up.
Yep.
Because there's a good chance it won't be there unless it's something really weird.
Yep. And then I picked up 2 board games. Both of them I'm going to talk about together. First was this Obsession, the Mindflex games, and then the Super Rack-O. I love board games. I love picking up board games because, let alone the sets themselves, like both of these games, they're vintage. Excuse me. Both of these games are vintage games that are not made anymore. So a lot of times people that they like those games, or enthusiasts, or collectors, they want to get these games. Both of them sell for about $30 plus shipping. I've even seen a couple of them go for higher than that, so that's pretty cool.
And what'd you pay?
I paid $3 for each of them.
Not bad.
So that's 10 times profit. But let's say I open it up though and it's missing pieces, which I did check them out, make sure it looked like some of the pieces are there. If they're missing pieces, you can sell individual parts for board games, and those can do pretty well on eBay. It
might be fun to do a follow-up after this once things have sold, to just kind of let you guys know what we actually did make on these, or if we return them.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And then lastly, I picked up this pack of, I think they are sewing kits or pattern kits. Yeah, they are the sewing pattern for, what are the critter coverlets.
Here, I can hold up a couple here if you want.
There are 7 of them in total.
Very of a time.
Yeah.
We got a pig. We got a duck.
Oh, there's more than 7.
Raccoon. Hippo. Cow. Honey bear, which was the first one, and this dog.
So I paid $2 for the entire lot of them. Doing some quick research with the Critter Coverlet brand, it seems that these are selling for like $10 plus shipping each individually. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research, but I did barely any looking, just because at $2
for all of them.
For all of them, I can't go wrong. You know, so, and I like to gamble my $1 and $2 bills. Generally, when I'm outsourcing, as long as it's $2 and under, I don't even worry about looking it up most of the time. But I did look these up because I was like, that's unique enough that somebody out there is trying to buy these.
I wonder what era that is. It looks like it could be maybe 70s-ish.
It could be.
Just the fonts and stuff. That'd be interesting to find out about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was our haul. Again, we did take some chances because of their return policy. But this, I think, is an example that we were only gone for, what, an hour?
If that.
Ish.
Yeah.
And we picked up these things. If you can find a good thrift store, and I recommend, go a little out of your area. Like, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, that seems like, oh, that's a long way. But if you can get into the right place, you might find better stuff. You might only have to go once or twice a month. And this kind of goes to show that there is enough out there for everybody. Mm-hmm. We were literally shopping the exact same store. Mm-hmm. I was looking at very clearly different things than he does. Yeah. I suspect he picks up different things than I do on average. And again, I think a lot of people just walk to buy all of this stuff. Yeah. Like, particularly this. Like, so sometimes, and then we talked about one of our recent episodes was the bottom feeder method.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's been out yet, but it will be coming if it's not yet. And that's kind of what this was. I'm guessing this has been here for a little while and people just walk by it because, oh, whatever. Yeah. You just never know. You got to look at that bottom. If something catches your eye, like this design, check out the bottom, do some Googling.
So we did briefly touch on there were some things that we neglected to take. Not because there wasn't profit there, but because other situations.
Other things, like I said, I am trying to limit my low value items. So I found like a vintagey food chopper. It might go $10 to $15. I'll show you the picture of it in the comp that I would go buy. For what I would have paid for it there, for where I am in the business, for what we still have left here, I am not at a loss for stock. Yeah. And so because of that, I'm looking for higher value items if I'm sourcing at all.
Yeah. I found this neat set of, I don't even remember the name, but it was a stack of apple kitchen dishes. I thought it was cute. They wanted $9 for it. There was some value there. They could easily sell for that $20 to $30 range. But for the size of what it was and for the price, unbreakable, I didn't want to deal with it. If I was out at a garage sale and if I found it for maybe half that price, I probably would have gotten it. So
I think, there's a lot of factors to take in. So something breakable, if it's only going to be a small profit, you're going to have to spend a lot of time, effort, and packaging materials to get that even to the customer safely. Yeah. And so, again, if you could get it cheaper, maybe sometimes don't be afraid to pass. Because, because you don't want to just get swept up in this, like,
oh, there's profit, buy.
Yeah, like, or the scarcity mindset where, like, there's not enough. There's plenty. Yeah. And there's some stuff I just don't want to sell. Yeah. And so I don't look in that area very often, or I don't pick it up because I just,
don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we would love to hear what you found recently. If you found a primo thrift store just like we have, we'd love to hear about that too. Thank you for joining us, and watch out for our podcasts and shorts. We post regularly.
Yes. At least once a week. So.
Yeah, happy thrifting.
See ya.
Bye.